Down here from Bantha Legion. I'm ready to complete my Sullust table. I've had a bit of a break, life's been a bit busy, went on a few holidays, but ready to get back into it. After applying the sand to my table, I've sealed it with a coat of watered down PVA glue just to help keep the sand from falling off, and then I've spray painted the whole thing black. For that I've used this paint here. It's actually water based spray paint. So the problem with normal spray paints is the aerosol melts the foam, but the combination of having water-based spray paint that you can get from your hardware store, it's not very common, so you might have to look around a bit. The combination of using this and also the layer of sand and several layers of PVA glue meant that the foam has survived perfectly well. So to paint it, I'm going to basically going for a dry brush of grey. So to do that, I've got myself a couple of cheap pots of paint. You can get these mixed up at your local hardware store. As you can see, I picked up this for $2. It was already pre-made, so it's a dark grey colour. And then what you want to do, you just want to use a technique called dry brushing. So if you're familiar with Wargame, you know what dry brushing is. If not, I'll give you a quick demo of what it is. So what you want to do, you basically just want to get some paint on your brush and then wipe the majority of it off. By wiping it off, you're ensuring that you're not putting too much paint on the surface, and then when you lightly paint over the top, only the raised bits will get covered in paint. So basically I'm going to do the whole board in this first colour and then work my way up into different shades. So you just want to work your way around the table, getting paint on your brush, wiping most of it off, and then just working backwards and forwards. There's no really right and wrong way to do this. You just want to make sure that your brush strokes aren't too visible, so you want to move around your brush a fair bit. And also you want to make sure that the edges are a bit brighter, because they'll give it some contrast and colour and bring the table to life a bit more. Now that I've given it a full covering and a light dry brushing of grey, I'm just going to stand back and see where areas that need a bit more. It's best to go slow when doing this instead of going overboard, because you'll end up with it being too grey. So you want to pick out areas just to give it a bit of highlights and contrast. So you might want to go over where the cracks are again. You might pick a spot here in the middle and just go a bit more heavy in the centre here, just to give it some natural variation. Now that you've finished the board with the first colour of grey, then we can work our way up to a lighter one. Now you can get this pre-made in different lights, different shades of grey, or basically you can just get black paint, white paint and mix it. Start off with black paint, keep on adding white paint, etc, etc, and get it brighter and brighter. If you do take that method, I'd recommend mixing it up into tubs and then setting all the different shades in a row. That way, if you do a piece of terrain or you want to come back and do something else to add to your board, you don't have to try to match the colours. So now what I'm going to do is use a slightly lighter shade of grey. Do the same technique, but this time picking up the edges a bit more, giving it a bit more of a contrast to what we already had. Now that we've finished that lighter coat, I'll do one more final coat, just picking up the edges. And for that I've got quite a light grey paint, and I'm only going to apply the smallest of bits just to the very edges. So you want to make sure that you get a whole lot of that paint off your brush before you do it. And you just want to just a little bit, just to keep adding to that 3D effect of multiple colours. And there you have it. all the sand's been painted in 3 different shades of grey. It may look a little bit plain here. It's a bit brighter in real life. Now that the board's done, now we get to the exciting bit of fire and brimstone. We're going to paint the lava. So for that you're going to need a smaller brush and then various shades of yellow, orange and red paint. I bought these just from the hardware store. They didn't cost me too much. I wouldn't go out and use fancy paint because you're only building terrain. So first we're going to do is brighten everything up with yellow, and then we want to dry brush our way up towards red, and then we want to finish off with a bit of black across the top. If you ever looked at flames and lava, you'll know that it's hottest down at the bottom and then coolest at the top. You don't want to fall into the trap of doing it the other way around and finishing with the yellow on top. So taking your yellow paint, all you want to do is carefully begin painting your lava. Now, it doesn't matter too much if you spill your lava up onto the walls. You can either go back and touch them up, or you can just live with it. Now that I've gave the lava a couple of coats of yellow, you can see it's really a bright, vibrant yellow, so that's a good base layer. Now we want to work our way up through some different colours, so I'm going to go with orange. And once again, using a similar technique that we used on the board, we're just going to dry brush the tops of the lava. So you want to concentrate more on the edges because it's going to be a lot cooler there. And you just work your way around, dry brushing over the entire lava. Once the orange is finished, I then did the final colour for the lava, which was red. Again, all I did was dry brush. It was quite heavy in the end, because I was finding it wasn't bright enough. So I ended up doing a couple of coats of dry brush of the red to really bring it out. And then I finished off with, what I did was mix up some red and some black, and just very lightly went at the very edges, just to give it some dried kind of harder bits. The lava's cooled at the very tips, so I went around and did all that. Alright, so now that we've finished our lava completely, now we want to do the glow effect. So to get the glow, same principle that we've done for the lava, we just want to dry brush. What we want to do, might be a bit hard to see, is just start building up a bit of a glow effect around the edges. Okay, so I'm going to take some orange paint now, a little bit of red, and I'm going to apply a very small amount of the brighter colour just around across the edge, closest towards the lava, to help get the glow effect. And now for the final highlight, I'm going to mix some yellow into that orange, and I'm only going to apply a very small amount closest to the lava. So wiping a lot off your brush in this instance, because you don't want your walls to be yellow. And just a very small amount. You probably can't see it very well on the camera. I'll show you when I'm finished. Alright, there you go guys, table's all finished. Thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you for my next video where I start working on the stuff to go on top. Cheers!